All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of this LinkedIn Live. We call this 10x your coaching, consulting, business growth. This episode is really all about coaches, consultants, and it's how to grow their business. People who are subject matter experts have got expertise in a field and are trying to articulate that expertise to someone else, whether it could be an individual or for a team. It's completely designed and focused on those coaches and consultants, those service based professionals. We give them actionable insights and strategies to grow their business rapidly using data driven methods. It also incorporates business intelligence and emotional intelligence. We call that integrated intelligence when we put it all together. Today's specific episode and focus is increasing your competitive advantage by 40%. I think that's a pretty significant number. And I'm going to show you throughout the course of this episode how you can do that. You'll see some of these fundamentals or foundational pieces that we have, but how it all comes together and using some of the power of AI to get you there much faster because AI is a powerful tool for creation of automation and things that humans, once they learn how to do it, you can use the AI to start to be that drone, if you will, that just kind of keeps moving about and does. Uh, More specifically, what you're going to learn today is, or what I'm going to share with you, is how to leverage your unique selling proposition to outpace your competitors and attract more clients on autopilot. What does that mean? Well, instead of you doing it, the machine is doing it for you. AI is doing it for you. It's doing some of the background work. But I will tell you, this is an interactive episode. And as I refer over my notes here, you'll see me kind of shifting my focus. But this is an interactive episode. And I'd really like this to be something where you get maximum value out of this and all of the lessons learned that I've had, sort of anecdotes, stories, narratives that I share with you along the way. I want you to be able to go back to your seat, back to your home, whatever the case may be, and maximize the value and being able to come up with some behaviors or actions that you can take that'll start moving you further forward. Because I think 40% is a nice goal to have. And as you start to pair these things together, achieving that 40% is actually very, very doable and in a very, very short amount of time. Okay. So first thing I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go to the comments, probably on the right hand side of your screen. I might be flipped here, so it might be your left. But go into the comments and type in for me now. What city or country are you connecting in from? I've connected with people from all over the world, so I'd love to see who I'm talking to. And let's start the conversation by just understanding where you're connecting from, city or country. So please go to the comments now and type that in. I'll also ask that if you're joining us as part of a replay after the live episode, type in pound replay first for your comment and then give me your whole comment there, just so I know that you came in afterwards. And you're more than welcome to join and listen into the whole thing. I'm glad to have you here. You're more than welcome to ask questions as well. I will respond back to those, or I'll get my team to respond back to you after we've seen what those are. So go to the comments now, type in city or country that you're from. Let me do a quick introduction of myself. My name is Vinay Raman. I am the founder and CEO of Carmo. My background is sort of the resume stuff here. Is my background is math, computer science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. And the story that I tell people is 18, 20 plus years ago when I used to tell people that was my expertise and that's what I do. People used to kind of roll their eyes and say, "Who invited this guy to the party?" That wasn't the most riveting topic to talk about. I smile a little bit because now that has changed. Because when I tell people that is my background and that's all I do most of the time is talk around AI and machine learning, everyone starts to lean a little bit and start to understand a little more about what I do and how I do. So it's become a very interesting topic, as you probably have already witnessed quite a bit. I've also been part of, or the senior leadership team, or run 6 different companies, including 2 exits or 2 sales. Uh, so been there from foundational stages to scaling to selling organizations. But my current company, Carmo, this is the 6th company that I've been worked on, In Karmo, we specialize in helping coaches and consultants, these service based professionals, grow their business by integrating business intelligence and emotional intelligence. So, the data, the facts, the numbers, the metrics, but also the emotions, the emotional intelligence, how people feel, what is their perception. Because emotions, we are emotional creatures first. 66% of our brain mass is our emotional centers, as a statistic that I read once. And the other 33% is about logic, and that logic is highly shaped by the emotions that you feel. So if you're upset, that's going to change. So what we do is we built a framework so that you can start to understand the emotions and the perspective with which they're responding or reacting to things as an individual. Because two-thirds of our body is dedicated to processing emotionally and physically before we can logically respond to things. So our proven process, the content flywheel, as part of this emotional intelligence and business intelligence, helps understand how to connect with people on an emotional level, but also on a business level. And it automates lead generation so that you get consistent lead generation as a coach or consultant. You start to differentiate yourself in the market, create content that resonates with people. So you start building client acquisition, streamline client acquisition on autopilot, and it allows you to start to build your business and scale your business with ease. Why? Because it's focused on bringing people to you so you can focus on what you do really well, which is leaning into that expertise. All right. So I'd like to stop for a moment here and give people a chance to digest some of what I'm saying here, but at the same time, ask a question, right? Because I'd love to hear from you. So please go into the comments and share with me. And again, if you're joining after the live episode, type in pound replay first and then your actual comment or question. The question I want to start out with is, what is your biggest challenge in differentiating your business from your competitors? Let me repeat that back to you. What's your biggest challenge in differentiating your business from your competitors? A fantastic stat that I heard the other day was, and kind of almost doesn't matter what the number is, but someone said that there's 4 million leadership coaches on LinkedIn. Gosh, and if we start to think about number of business coaches, it's probably a similar staggering number. Now, if you just say you're a leadership coach, who is going to step forward because there's 4 million of them? So, what is your biggest challenge in differentiating from your business from competitors? Please drop your comments or your thoughts into the comment box now. I would love to understand where you find that friction. So, to kind of move forward here, let's talk a little bit about what those four challenges are, right? Number one, and I would love to hear which one of these resonate most with you. Number one is lead generation. Many coaches and consultants struggle with consistently generating high quality leads. And today's we'll talk a little bit about that differentiation and your unique selling proposition and how that can kind of help you stand out, or your shoulders up, head and shoulders above those 4 million other people who might be just like you on LinkedIn trying to do the same thing, because there's confusion, there's frustration in terms of trying to step forward. Let's talk a little bit about that and how that can actually lead to lead generation. Number two, differentiation. Standing out from your competitors is key to achieving a competitive advantage. And I'll show you how to craft and communicate a strong, unique selling proposition. And it takes a couple of minutes. We've got a tool that we're going to give you that'll help you do it in maybe as soon as 7, maybe even 10 minutes. And it gives you an incredibly detailed market report and analysis that tells you, based on what you feed to us, synthesizes all that using AI to tell you, here's the space and here's what you do that is different from all those other 4 million leadership coaches, for example, if that's the space that you're in. It helps you build that unique selling proposition. Number three, client acquisition. Again, love to hear which one of these resonate with you. Client acquisition, turning leads into paying clients, can be streamlined through differentiation. If they know exactly what you do, they can say, yeah, I'd like some of that, right? They need to be able to walk by that bakery counter and say, I want the chocolate croissant or the chocolate eclair because that's what appeals to them. There's 10 other types of pastries or confections on that shelf there, but they need to be able to choose what really appeals most to them. So, are you a chocolate donut, chocolate eclair? I know I'm making an analogy here, but hopefully you see that client acquisition, bringing them on board to make a purchase, is all about their ability to make a choice. And that choice should be you if you're the right fit for them. So tell them what you are. Okay. So client acquisition is number three. And number four is incorporating AI. AI tools can further increase your competitive advantage by automating the elements of lead generation and differentiation. I'll give you a tool that will use AI to help you do that lead generation and differentiation if you stay till the end. It's a tool that we usually charge as much as $500 for. So for some of our clients to go through this process, if you stay till the end, we'll actually give you the QR code and the link so that you can try it yourself and you'll see how powerful it is. I will tell you, most people who have come through our program or have used our tool, we always ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, how effective is this what we call the unique voice report in helping you distinguish how you're different as a leadership, a business coach, whatever type of coach you are, compared to your competition. Usually our response is about an 8.8 or higher. That is our average to date, is an 8.8 out of 10. So incorporating these AI tools can help you distinguish yourself, increase your lead generation, and also your differentiation in the market. And we'll discuss how you can incorporate that into what you do on a daily basis. So I'd love to hear in the comments which one of those four things resonated with you: lead generation, differentiation, client acquisition, or incorporating AI into your practice. Which of those are really interesting for you? Okay. So let's kind of bring this all together. What are you going to get in this episode? Let's tie all those sort of core challenges that I just went through and how that all ties into getting this competitive advantage that's going to increase your competitive advantage by 40% by using this unique selling proposition that makes you stand out from those 4 million other people who may be just like you online, and by using automation. And again, if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you a free tool that'll do it for you. So you don't have to go build it and spend hours with Claude or ChatGPT um, or Copilot, whatever system you do. We've already done it for you, and it's a completely free tool for you. All right, let's talk about the impact because Simon Sinek says start with why. I think that's kind of in the middle, right? You don't start with why, you start with some other things first. But in order to be able to get people bought into it, you need to know why it's important. So let's talk about impact here. What is the impact of going through this exercise, right? First, you're going to stand out from your competitors with that powerful, unique selling proposition that will resonate with your audience. If you make chocolate eclairs, guess what? People who want to buy chocolate eclairs and you become the best at selling chocolate eclairs or make the best chocolate eclairs in your area, guess what? People will come to your shop because they say, hey, I want chocolate eclairs. Everyone else, we need to go there for breakfast because that's when we're going to get it, or for a snack. Become the best at what you do. You probably already are. But how do you let other people know that that's what you're the best at? You can't just say leadership coach because that says, I just do pastries. Okay. Impact number two, when you do this, you start to attack more clients on autopilot by automating the elements of your business using this AI. So the point is, instead of you spending a lot of time and effort trying to distill what you do as an expertise and share that with others, because I know when I did a lot of management consulting, when I did a lot of coaching, I spent a lot of time listening where I wanted to kind of jump to the end of say, come on, I know what your problem is. Let me help you solve. But you can't do that because they've got to get there sooner. What if you could help articulate to them in a programmatic way so that they start to get there sooner, so that by the fine time you have that first conversation, they already understand what you do, make the best chocolate eclairs in town. And they say, I want some of that. You don't have to spend that time with them. You can start to spend the time understanding them more deeply. It becomes a much more empathetic and customized conversation to what their needs are. Impact number three, scale your business by leveraging differentiation and automation. What this means is, while everyone else is still having those conversations, those discovery calls, doing a lot of frog kissing, which is what you do at networking events and all the referrals, because that's the way I used to grow my business. What if they started coming to you? So it was a consistent source of leads that are coming to you and saying, I've already kind of gotten through that discovery phase. I know exactly what you do and I know exactly what I want from you. Can you give me that? Gosh, I don't have to sell them at that point in time. I just show them what that next step is. Now, for me as a leadership coach or consultant or business consultant, management consultant, whatever I was in, right, in my past, I always thought I was the only one who was having that problem. And what I'd like to do is share with you sort of the size of the space, right? How significant this this challenge is for everyone, for most of people. And I think the statistics will tell you a little bit more, right? Here's statistic number one. Businesses with a strong USP, unique selling proposition, are 25% more likely to gain customer loyalty and repeat business. If you say you are a business coach that focuses on finances for companies that have raised up to $5 million dollars in venture capital and are looking at scale in the medical sector, mm, there are people who know, say, that's exactly what I want. Can I have some of that? Because they understand exactly what you do. And it's not a matter of convincing them. It's a matter of them inviting them on how to do it because you've got the specific expertise that they need. I want to pause here. How does that statistic sit with you? Businesses with a strong USP are 25% more likely to gain customer loyalty and repeat business. Okay. Validating statistic number two, companies that differentiate themselves through market positioning see a 40% increase in competitive advantage. The companies that differentiate themselves through market position see a 40% increase in competitive advantage. Is that appealing to you? Being able to differentiate yourself in a way that other people see you and they come to you and they are much more likely to come and sign with you, become a client, 40% more likely because they understand you more deeply. Is that interesting to you? Does that one resonate the most with you? Here is, please share that in the comments. I would love to hear what you think. Number three, using AI in business processes increases efficiency and can boost by 30% your competitive advantage. So, by using AI to increase this efficiency of articulating your message to people, the statistic says that there's a 30% boost in your competitive advantage. So, just by automating these things, being consistent, having the process roll it out for you consistently on your behalf to those people who need to hear you, gets you a 30% boost. Is that one the most interesting? So, business with a strong USP are 25% more likely to gain customer loyalty and repeat business. Companies that differentiate themselves through market positioning see a 40% increase in competitive advantage. Using AI in business processes increases efficiency and can provide a 30% boost in competitive advantage. Which one of those resonate most with you? Seem like they could be the most utilitarian for you and your organization? I'd love to hear. Share that in the comments for me. All right. I'm going to give you a little bit of a disclaimer here because there's a lot of variables in achieving success here, right? And seeing the scale. And the point is that whether it's 40%, 43%, or 34%, it is a huge order of magnitude increase in the effectiveness of your business that you're going to see here. But all businesses, all markets, all expertise areas, what people coach on, what they consult on is different. So the results will be different as well. So just because I say 40%, you won't get 40. You may do better than that. You may do less than that. But we're not talking about 3%. We're talking or 4%. We're talking about 40. A major shift in the effectiveness of your business in its competitive positioning. Okay, let's come back, restate this problem because I want to give you the solutions capped in behind them. I'm going to give you this problem sort of in a statement here. In a crowded marketplace, it's easy to blend in with competitors. Think about those 4 million other leadership coaches if you're a leadership coach. Without a strong, unique value proposition, potential clients struggle to see why they should choose you over someone else because you're just a bakery. But if you make eclairs, they're coming to you from eclairs. That's what gets them up. By the way, they may buy some other stuff at your bakery as well. Additionally, without automation, scaling this competitive advantage becomes more challenging. So now, if you become the renowned expert at making chocolate eclairs in your locale, right, in your particular geography, and you're making them all by hand, that's fine. At some point in time, you're going to cap how many customers. What if you can actually teach the machine to do the parts, mixing the dough? Maybe that's a hard process, right? Maybe making the chocolate sauce that goes on top, but it's still done by hand. All the elements are done in pieces by something else. That's where you can use AI to do those things for you. So the problem is that all these automations, all these pieces, you can still give the human touch with some of the automations done in the background through AI, right? So the problem is, how do you stand forward so people can still see your personality, your unique traits, your unique value proposition while getting some of these things done in the background through some automation? Most people don't mix all the batter by hand. They use a KitchenAid or a stand mixer, even within their kitchen, but it's still homemade. Okay. So here's the solution. Three things: crafting your unique uh, selling proposition, define what makes your business unique, how you solve your clients' problems better than anyone else, and why they should choose you. Let me give an example here. Let's keep going with this Eclair example, right? As a proxy for leadership or business coaching. You go to bakeries and you help them optimize their bakeries to make one thing better than anybody else, because that's what you like, is you love bakeries and you love working with bakeries. So you go work with those owners to find out what is that one thing that makes you stand out. And they say, we make chocolate eclairs. Great, let's make that chocolate eclair your flagship, something that stands out. So let's do all the finances behind it, let's do all the leadership and getting all the teams on board, let's do all the marketing, let's do all the operations, let's do all the online operations, online commerce. Let's optimize all of that around you creating those chocolate eclairs, because that's what you do, right? That is about crafting your unique selling proposition. We make the best eclairs so good that the only better place you can get a chocolate eclair is in heaven, because our chocolate eclairs are heavenly. Imagine being able to talk like that, right? You're given a breath of heaven whenever they take a bite into your chocolate eclair. That is the unique selling proposition. And people will say, I want a bite of heaven every time I go to that bakery. Imagine, as a leadership coach or a leadership consultant, if you had that level of clarity where it's going to resonate with people who want to be your clients. Now you can use the AI, right? Now people can step forward because I want a bite of heaven. That becomes inbound lead generation for you, client acquisition and differentiation in the marketplace. And we're just using a simple chocolate eclair as a proxy for your leadership coaching or consulting business, your business coaching and consulting. I'd love to understand, anybody who's listening in, do you feel like you've got a very strong, unique selling proposition that can stand the test of other people in your market? Do you feel like you stand head and shoulders different from others? Please share in the comments. I would love to hear what you think. How confident are you in that? I'd love to understand, because we'll give you a tool at the end that'll help you do that in a snap. Communicating your unique selling proposition. Leverage your marketing and sales channels to effectively communicate your unique strengths to your audience. All right. So um, we've talked about this bakery as a proxy for leadership consulting, business consulting. Okay. And in doing this, we talked about how our chocolate eclairs are a bite of heaven. Okay? That's the story that we're starting to tell. Right. Now, where do we want to communicate that? Right. That's the question. Do we want to go to health clubs and communicate that because they're looking for a bite of heaven that's loaded with calories? I don't know. Maybe that's the reward for working so hard. Or do we want to go to a place, perhaps a spa, where people are trying to treat themselves based on some achievement that they've made and say, get a bite of heaven as every time that you've achieved a target, every time they hit a business goal, or their child scores a goal in their soccer game or does well in their piano recital, they think, oh, it's time to get a bite of heaven. Think about that. Now you can start to figure out exactly who you're going to target in on, so that they start to think about you saying, and they start to make that association with, every time I want a bite of heaven, I'm going to go here. Do you think that's going to start when you start to target those audiences in those particular situations? They're going to start to think about you more often as opposed to going to the regular bakery? Absolutely. I, I know oftentimes when I coach soccer teams, I would always throw out there is, if we got 3 goals in a game or we played very hard, I would we'll do an after party at the ice cream, like local ice cream parlor, and kids would get excited about that. And every time they would play, they say, if we do well in this game, are we going to get ice cream? Well, do you think we went to the same exact ice cream parlor? No, we didn't. until one started saying, "We love that you bring kids here as a result of that, right? We want to do something special." And they gave us a little piece of a waffle cone that every one of the kids got. God, that made all the difference in the world because that's who they want to cater to. And every time they want to go back to that same exact place. Okay. So, do you feel like you are very effective in communicating your unique selling proposition to your audience or to your ideal customer? I'd love to hear. Please share that in the comments. Okay. Step number three: AI for differentiation. Using AI to automate the process of analyzing competitors and refining your unique selling proposition based on market data is a really, really strong way to make you stand head and shoulders above everyone else. Again, we'll give you a tool here in a little bit that's going to actually do all of that for you in a couple of moments, as opposed to you spending the next hour or weeks trying to define this for yourself. Imagine if you're this bakery that is saying, "I'm focused on this slice of heaven, a bite of heaven every time you bite into one of our chocolate eclairs because that's our flagship product. And we build everything around that because there's other things that you sell, but they come in for the eclairs," right? Imagine if that's the case, right? Now, if you refine that, can you find all the other bakeries that advertise croissants on the website? Or, excuse me, chocolate eclairs on the website? If nobody does, guess what? That makes it really strong for you to be able to position yourself on just that one thing. Say, "We have been the strongest. We've made the best chocolate eclair in this area, in this locale for the last 20 years." And if you're a business coach that's coaching them through that, that's brilliant, simple, easy. But it makes a differentiation in the crowd. And people start to associate based on that, crafting that unique selling proposition, communicating that unique selling proposition over time. Everybody just knows what you are. And you can use AI to automatically say, "Did you score a goal in your game? Did you hit a business objective? Did you get that bonus? You deserve a bite of heaven." Over time, people start to associate that bite of heaven with yours because that unique selling proposition becomes what you do. Okay. So I'd love to see in the comments, crafting your unique selling proposition, communicating your unique selling proposition, and AI for differentiation. Which of those do you do today? Which of those would you like to do today? I'd love to hear in the comments. So please go to the comments and type in what you feel. Audience segmentation is some other one other thing I'd like to spend just a couple moments on here. Is we talked about going to the health club and saying a slice of heaven versus people at a spa, right? By looking at who your audience is and how they might receive it and what experience they want to go through that might specifically use yours, also makes that a much tighter conversation and a draw. Okay. So that being said, I want to give you a tool that we created for ourselves internally. I'm going to give it to you for free. It's called the Unique Voice Report. I'm going to drop it into the image here. Give me a moment. If you scan that QR code or you go to that URL, you will actually see this form. It should take you about 7 to 10 minutes, and it'll generate a 20 to 25-page report that will show you exactly what your unique selling proposition is based on the information. Upload videos, upload podcasts, PDFs, sales links, put all that stuff in there. It'll distill all of that for you using AI, does market research for you, and starts to build for you what that unique selling proposition is that you have that nobody else is, a synthesis of all those things that is uniquely yours. It is your voice, your message. So, that being said, I'm going to leave this up on screen. We do this, I'll bring it back up in just a moment here if you didn't get that URL and that QR code. But we do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern District Time. Would love to have you on future episodes. Our next show is going to be about maximizing your lead generation effectiveness, getting those leads to be leads that you want to talk to 60% better, 60% of the time they'll be better, as opposed to just getting people who are poking around the edges and trying to find out what you do, maybe even doing competitive intelligence. Okay. So let me bring that back up on screen for you. Here's that free offer. You take our $500 report. Just anybody who's joined this episode, scan that QR code or go to that URL. just above that QR code, and you will get a free report. Should take you 7 to 10 minutes. Upload it as much give us as many URLs to YouTube videos, podcasts, documents that you have, websites, your LinkedIn profile, so on and so forth. Every URL that you can think of that tells us a little bit who you are. You can even record your own videos if you'd like to fill in some of those fields. You'll be more than happy to take all of that stuff in. Thank you so much for your time. Hopefully, you got some value out of this. And I'll see you next time to give you some more tips on how you can 10x your coaching consulting business. Thank you.